someone else determines that. Therefore, they cannot be a good cop because other people determine that
You
shit. They
can't
gave
be
it
a
up.
good person and a good cop because being a cop means that you sell your moral determination.
It's like I'm saying, I'm a good person. I've given over to
They are
Flo all my
policy
moral
enforcers.
decisions. I'm a good
That's
person.
all they are. They enforce policy, and who creates the policy? The corporation of United States. Okay, so when you put it all, no, society does not. No, I mean, like, you think the voting thing is going to really actually matter? Is that actually going to make any changes?
States have control of their police departments. Cities have control of their police departments. That's not a federal thing.
What they got to do with anything?
Well, isn't it a little bit of both, though? The states have their laws, and federal government have their laws, though, too. Or is it just like a oil and water
That's the way
type of
the
situation?
Constitution's set up.
What's that have to do with the fact that you cannot be a good cop and a good person? The Constitution isn't where right and wrong comes from.
Very good.
Flo, really quick, I hate to do this, but y'all got to be a sausage fest again because I got to dip out. My husband.
We like
truth tellers here.
We're used to it.
It was great. I would say it was great talking to you guys, but y'all dogpiled the crap out of me. So good night.
Oh, come on.
Get back in the kitchen.
Make me a
sandwich.
Well, see, that happened.
Thanks for coming up, Leah.
That happened to her earlier on Jeff's panel. That
I wanna
guy.
hear why
I was there too.
I want to hear why there's no good cops followed up with a proposal of no cop society. Is that where we're heading?
I don't think so. I think in any society, you're going to have cops. You might call them something different, but they will be cops.
If there's no good cops, then we have to get rid of all of them. Wouldn't that be the logic?
I'm not so sure.
When they come out of the police academy and they're like that they're trained, sometimes it has a lot to do with their training. They're not even in training, in the school or police academy for very long. If they put up on the street, they'd be trying to, they're just, and then they have that where they can say they're afraid for their life and they get away with a whole lot.
So do we need to train good cops, or is this like all cops bad by default? Like
no, they can't be bad by default. Okay, well, we can chop it down a lot. If part of their job suddenly is to they can't hurt anyone who hasn't hurt anyone or deprived them of property. Cops can't harm people anymore. That's their number one thing. Now they have a shot at being a good cop because you can't make them. They can't rob you over a seatbelt or weird shit like that, which immediately dispels them. If you haven't hurt nobody, they can't hurt you.
What about them investigating their own, the internal investigations and stuff? Investigate their own. They don't have an outside entity that that handles that. They have their own people investigating the internal, investigation.
Cops investigated themselves and found themselves innocent. Imagine that.
Well, a lot of places are starting to adopt the citizen review board.
Yeah, but there seems to be a fraud. I've been a part of a bunch. I haven't been on them, but I've watched a bunch of them develop, including ours in Chicago, and they all get perverted. The mayor at the 11th hour said that part of the contract must be she get to instill the head people, and all of the most hopeful fucks that I know, they all turned out to be toothless and they have no power.
Dude, I imagine those end up being the board ends up being staffed by basically cops again.
Yes, ex-cops, firemen, and mayoral appointees.
Does Chicago still have that mutual combat rule?
No, not to my knowledge. No.
Didn't they have that rule for a while?
I would have never heard that. We would have exploited it to no fucking end. I don't think we could have it.
We have it here in Arizona, but mutual combat is like a domestic dispute. Like, so if you're having if somebody calls a cop because somebody put their hands on you, but you can also go to jail if you prevent somebody from leaving the situation. Like if they, how sometimes when you're arguing and they stand in front of the doorway and they're like, no, you're not leaving until we finish, whatever your fight is. So if you prevent somebody from leaving, they call it mutual combat. It's a mutual.
It sounds like fucking kidnapping in every other state.
They'll take you.
What does it mean?
You're preventing
what is a mutual
99%
combat
certain
rule?
that the suspect is black.
My understanding was like the cops were just kind of standing down because the gang violence was getting so regular, like it was like a daily occurrence in Chicago. So they were just saying like the new rule is the gangs can just fight it out on the street, and the cops will just wait until they're done, and then like
I never heard
maybe
that.
Okay. All right.
Well, mutual combat before these things ever occurred was if two parties agree to fight, the police will stand there and let you fight. That was mutual combat. If it turned into something where the police decide to let people fight, I'm unaware of. And I know that wasn't happening in Chicago, because when I left there, I was out there hours every night. I would have noticed that.
They may have changed it, but I was watching like a news report about where they were just starting that policy, and they said that it even included using guns too. Which I was like, whoa.
No. If there's a gunshot, the whole department, I can tell you, because I'm listening to the scanner 8 hours a day. If there's one gunshot, it's like crack addicts on you. No one is saying let them fight. That's not a
so
thing.
if they want to do a knife shot, if they want to fight with knives or not guns, but swords, then it's okay, and they're not going to
like
interfere.
Baseball bats and brass knuckles and shit.
That's how the nuns at my parochial school used to treat us. Mutual combat. The nuns would put us in freaking boxing gloves.
I wasn't even aware they even had any law in Chicago, so I thought it was pretty much like the Wild West anyway. So I didn't think they.
In some ways, it is, man.
It's like a permanent purge.
Yeah, there's a thing going on where the kids are just, roaming in bunches of 100 or 200. And when you get that thick and they're kids, most of the times they're teenagers and young, they jumping all on cars, breaking store windows. It's like a mob thing going on right there. That was pretty shitty. I was stepping over immigrants when I left. I mean, literally in police stations.
Did you say stepping on?
Stepping over immigrants in police
Stepping
stations.
over.
That's where they slept at night. So they were all over. And during the day, they'd come outside, and some really good people would set up food and stuff for them, and so they'd mill about in the front of the police stations during the day.
So I guess if you don't like cops, you can move to California because their cops don't do anything there. So you can just pretty much rob shit.
You can steal.
The cops arrest people who defend themselves. You'd be better off with no cops.
California is horrible, but with cops too. I've been there. They got some.
You can steal up to $4,999 and not be arrested.
You can go loot iPhone stores and shit, and they'll just watch you. They'll be like, "Have a nice day."
That's crazy.
Thanks for coming by.
I would no chance I let that.
Thank you. Come again. Yeah, that's the blue states for you.
That's brainwashing for you to tell you.
Was that an Indian accent there that you just threw out?
Maybe.
Do Indian people work in iPhone shops? I'm just curious.
It's more like a 7-Eleven. It's a convenience store.
I see. It's kind of like the Homer Simpson world over there.
Yeah, before they got canceled by all the woke people who can't allow humor. We can't have jokes in this society. Somebody might get offended.
I just wanted to place the accent. That's all. I'm continue.
It's the Apu accent. The
Apu accent.
Hey, cool. Come again.
Have a nice day.
Scott, were you eating when you said that?
Bong it.
Were you making coffee again?
Yeah, I cracked up to no end that you made that.
Scott gets kicked off, drops down in the comments, says, "Go fuck yourself, Flo," and then comes straight back. Angry John Goodman.
Good strategy.
He says, "Fuck you," and I'll see you
Good
tomorrow.
thing you're not a cop.
Hey,
I'm not even paying attention. I'm watching TV.
It's only fair you ask me a couple questions.
Then why are you here?
What's up, Joe? Ask your question, brother.
All right. Do you think that if you fail to put on your seatbelt, you should owe the state, whoever that is, $150?
No, not a fan of that.
Very good.
I'm also
Well,
not a fan of getting pulled over for just expired car insurance, which I was in the process of renewing, but that was the only reason they pulled me over. I wasn't driving dangerously or anything like that. They pulled me over because my insurance just expired.
That sounds horrible to me. I don't think I got any more questions. I just wanted to make sure you wouldn't.
I want to hear Chuck talk about seatbelt laws.
Seatbelt laws?
I don't like
Scott, not Scott.
Like they can't just pull you over just for your seatbelt. There has to be another traffic violation or a different violation to be able.
That's
to
how it originally was, and then they changed it.
I think they just call it probable cause now when they catch you without a seatbelt or whatever. They'll make up something. It's not that hard.
Joe, I remember when I was living in East St. Louis and things got pretty bad down there. And there for a while,
I mean, you're in
from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., there was about a 10-block stretch that they would turn off the stoplights so that you wouldn't slow down. You would just keep going because crime was getting so bad.
Meaning they wanted you to hurry through those neighborhoods.
You got it. Because it got to the point where every time you stop at a stoplight, the thugs would come out there and rob you.
It's time to move out of Detroit, Chuck.
Yeah, but I mean, like, how stupid do you got to be? Like, oh, the stop sign is making me stop, and people are coming at me with bats and guns, and they're surrounding my car. Like, but I can't go. I can't go forward. I'm gonna get a ticket.
My foot broke. Can't press the gas.
No, they would wait until you stop.
Yeah, maybe they deserve it then at that point. Maybe they deserve to be mobbed up.
Don't stop.
Notch is getting savage. But you know what? I appreciate you, Notch, because ever since they made they turned up those stoplights, my revenue stream has dropped dramatically.
Damn it.
Oh boy. We got to do something about that.
Yes. We could Scott could teach us how to knock off storage units.
You need to know what I actually do. You'd actually get a kick out of it.
Do you got any Michael Jackson memorabilia in there?
I bet you do.
Yeah, he's got 2 or 3 little boys.
Oh no!
Hey, I've got the sign. I've actually, hold on. I do have this. I have the sign. There's actually the sign at Neverland Valley Ranch, and you can see it in some of the pictures if you go back to the lore and see it in the books. But it's the sign that says if you're under this tall or over, it says, hold on, let me look at it. It says if you're over this tall, you can't ride Michael.
So Scott's been there then.
Bless it.
Oh my gosh, she was gorgeous on that clip.
Oh yeah.
And she's in the comments.
Good old Barbie.
You scare Lindsay off, maybe you can get Barbie up.
You mean Leah?
You had to bring up Trigger My Black Guilt again, didn't you?
That's his white privilege.
I've been can't spell Lou. Thank you. Word.
That's just awesome, right? That is the greatest advertisement for American might. I would comply in any fucking country across the globe after watching that short.
I bet that clip has single-handedly made me half of the revenue I've ever made off YouTube. I bet if I had not ever made that, this channel would be half as lucrative.
I think so. I think you're right.
That is so interesting that one thing can do that. That is so interesting.
Because people love it. I fucking love it. Do you know how many times I've seen that clip? And every time I'm still like, yeah.
You ever
it's the German. It's the German goose stepping chanting, that just really get your blood moving, right?
It does get the blood moving.
I think the reason that Jeff and people support America so hard is because out of fear. and they need protection. And when you show that image, that's how you can protect me. I'm all in. I don't care how many dicks I gotta suck and all of that shit. I'm all in. That is what I
Calm
want to
down,
be.
Joe.
Let me
Speak for
pause you
yourself,
real
Joe.
quick and address something. Hold on. Let me address something. Fi.
Yes.
I don't know if you know this. This is my first stream back after strike. So when you feel the urge to have loudmouth house outbursts like the one you just had, just know I'm like 3 seconds away from just squashing you off the channel.
Oh yeah, all right, sorry. No more non-PC chat.
Don't be like Scott.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
GF.
Glad I missed it.
He just shouted out a
I
thing.
spoke German, and that's
Uh,
not.
He spoke the wrong German.
All right.
Yeah.
You know Flo's racist. You don't allow German in.
Which is weird because you didn't yell at the other guy for talking about the Germans, which is
Okay, because having a discussion about you know what, Fi, get the fuck out of here. Having a discussion about a topic and just shouting out a German slogan are insanely different. Don't play fucking stupid with me, Fi. Come back next time.
Have a nice day.
Shut up, nerd.
Is he in the?
Yeah, I dropped you
How
to
have
the
you been,
back.
Flo?
Well, I've been in jail, but I'm out now. So,
Yeah,
how about
he's
you?
gonna be a little sensitive.
I'm gonna be a little
posted
touchy.
shit,
But you know what? When I correct something that's obviously stupid, and then you come back by trying to argue the point.
Yeah.
Who is this? Actually,
I
that's
posted Flo's bond, so
yeah, that's here. Let me do this. We're gonna do the overlay. Dose of reality, fake dose of reality. Are you
Not
real
a
person?
fake. Not a fake. Mandela effect deniers are liars. And I got a little beef to pick with Notch. That Gasian Notch. Yeah.
Thanks for joining.
Ruh-roh.
that
How
sounded
shitty you
like
gotta be to have beef with Notch?
that voice sounded familiar.
It's crazy. What's going on over here?
Uh-oh, what happened to
Insanity.
Notch?
They're coming from every nook.
I don't know. Come back, Notch.
He just wanted to avoid some stupidity.
Yeah,
Boy, that
Yeah,
voice
Notch-
sounded familiar.
Notch is you can smell the royalty on him sometimes.
It's that hair. He's got
It's
that hair
that
like
hair.
Mitch. Yeah, he's got hair like Mitch.
Persona, the energy he gives off. He's got a chill vibe. He's a smart. You can tell he's hella intelligent.
He's not that smart now. Oh, hey, Notch, I didn't know you was back.
My phone was getting hacked or something. Sometimes it happens. I think somebody has like the back doors to it, and my thing starts to glitch out.
Really?
Hey, Notch, I was reading something actually. I was just reading an article last night that there was where I'm at. I don't know if it was here. I think it was here in Arizona, but there's the hackers are getting into the actual. They had Cricket Wireless, and I think they're affiliated with. I want to say they're affiliated with Sprint or AT&T. I don't know who they're partnered up with.
I think it's
So
Sprint.
basically, yeah. So basically, they're getting the SIM pin for your SIM card. You know, it has a separate PIN number. So that's how they're breaking into the phone, and they're basically retrieving the information. And they said that they noticed that certain contact numbers were changing, and then I guess his wife's phone had certain apps on there that they didn't have before. So that's how they noticed that there was that their phone was there was something going on with their phone, and so they had went and they looked, and basically they got all their information. So somehow they broke into the hackers had broke into the SIM pin, and then they retrieved the information as they're retrieving it, and they're going through any kind of account or whatever you have stored in that phone, any kind of memories, passwords, if you have Bitcoin, any kind of apps that have any kind of monetary value, they're break into it, and then they can't retrieve it. They couldn't retrieve it. Then they had called the phone company, and they're like, look, this is what's going on. And they basically they're like, oh well, we can't do anything about it. And it's like, they said they were very very disappointed with how they reacted to, what happened, because that's a new one. I just read that last night. I was like, what? So they're just, so they had like stuff that was wrapped up in like that Robinhood investment, that app or whatever, and the some Bitcoin, and so whatever accounts they had, they retrieved it, changed the pins, they were changing phone numbers, and they it was just like subtle changes they noticed in the phone, and that's what they were doing. So they said now it's take a lot of days off, and then they'd have to prove. They said it's basically they're having to prove who they are constantly because of them being able to get into their phone, the SIM pin or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I personally, no, like for me, I think it's actually somebody in the metaverse who I had shared the StreamYard with, and they have once you share StreamYard with them, like and a panel like this, like they have access to your IP addresses and stuff. And then so I like if the government wants to spy on anybody, they can. If NSA or China or Russia, they can spy on you. That's not an issue. I'm more worried about, I'm more worried about individuals who is, and I don't have anything of value here online that for them to take. It's more like spying and messing up with my connections is like what's happening, and I can just tell. Like I use StreamYard quite often, and when I go to certain panels, I notice it happening. I'm not claiming any one particular individual, but I have
No,
kind
it's
of an idea.
It's Flow. He's hacking your shit.
No, it's not Flow. No, it's not Flow.
I notice things like that too in certain, because it's just there's certain people that, they got that knowledge, and they're that troll. They're that. I know. I just noticed that too.
I mean, I don't think it's anybody here. I don't think it's anybody here. But like, if I shared this panel with some other people, and then they are in question, let's just say, then I think they still have the possibility to have access to my stuff because they have my IP address.
It's like a gateway,
So without being,
can't you just unplug and replug your modem, and it changes your IP, and you're good again? Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't believe so.
I don't know.
I think it's something that simple to change your IP.
Release and refresh.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Release and refresh.
Just look it up. DIY.
And make that noise when you release. Then you'll be refreshed.
That means a totally different thing for me.
Yeah.
Barbie, are you talking to us or are you talking to the shadow people?
I'm talking to you. I was like, that means something totally different for me.
Oh, Flowstate, you should have had
I'll
that
be like,
toilet.
somebody's going to end up not existing anymore if I take it to that. Like, refresh and then release. Is that what you said? Yeah.
Somebody's not going to exist anymore.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm
ready
to cap it.
Are you watching us on the TV?
No, I'm watching the end of this game. There's like 1 minute and 47 seconds left, and the freaking I don't like Golden State. I really don't. I really don't like Steph Curry. I don't like Golden State, and like, it got me messed up right now because they just took 3 points from the Lakers, like, and they're still reviewing that. I'm like, which would only have us at like a 4-point gap, and there's like less than 2 minutes on the clock. That's doable, but then they took 3 points, so now we're like. Oh my God!
Even though I'm not a sports fan, somehow that just made you hotter.
Can't hurt, right? Yeah.
Basketball is really the only sport that I really actually even give a fart about, just because I like basketball. But I get really super into it when I watch it, so I tend to not watch it around other people or like this. But this is like the end of the game. And then that happened. I was like, oh, it's almost done. So I'll go ahead and get the stream. And then I'll look. I turn around and look back, and I was like, where? What? Okay. I'm going to try to break it down. I'm going to try to dial it back.
I think boxing do it for me. That's the most I get invested in something, and it's hard to watch if someone I really like in something. Other sports, not so much.
Like Tyson has a fight coming.
Mike Tyson videos where he is not actually connecting with his opponent. It's like completely show. There's some.
It breaks my heart.
I haven't seen those.
Listen, if you watch those fights, Mike Tyson used to kill those guys.
I've seen enough Mike Tyson questionable hits to know that, like, and before that, because there's two, Mike Tyson and Michael Jordan were the two athletes. Like, I'm not a sports fan, like I've said, but those two guys, I could just watch montages of them just smashing people, and so then when I started,
them up.
But then when I noticed like some of the questionable Mike Tyson stuff and like that, it just bums me out.
I haven't heard anything questionable about his punches and shit. This is the first time hearing, and I'm still that fan. I was in college. I remember calling home, talking about, you guys got to see this phenom, Michael Jordan. I'm from Chicago. I was going to his games as a rookie and that shit. I was hurt when I found out how shitty he was, but I've heard nothing about Michael Tyson.
There's
there was Mike Tyson just like not too long ago when he said it was the scariest moment that he's ever had, and because of all the stuff that all the boxing that he's done, and that that blows the head or whatever, and I think one of his kids passed away, didn't it? One of his kids passed away. I think one of his I think it was his I want to say it was one of his sons. The interview was asking him about how he's coping with it or whatever, and then just looked like he just transformed into like his soul left it, and he goes, "You gotta go now." And like he looked at him, but he said that was the scariest moment. It's like the way he looked at him, and he's like, "You got," because he was starting to cry and kind of show his emotions, and he just like snapped out of it, like out of nowhere, and he's like, "You need to go now." Like, but the way he looked at him was pretty wicked. Like he's like, "Oh snap!" He's like, "I was frozen in time for those split seconds. It felt like forever." Because it just looked like he was just gonna,
yeah. I wouldn't want to get punched by Tyson, but like where I noticed it personally was the fight the fight that Tupac was at before he got shot. I went back and watched some of that shit, mostly because I was like going down the Tupac rabbit hole. But while I was down there, I ended up watching that fight closer, and I'm not convinced. And I've drugged this topic up on panel a handful of times. I am not at all convinced after watching that hit from several different angles that the guy Tyson was fighting didn't just throw it.
He threw it. Some of those guys were just taking paydays. Listen, Tyson would beat the fuck out of you. He came in on his toes, moving forward, trying to kill people.
Yeah.
But nobody's doubting that. It's like it's not the fact that he can't take you down, but if people are going down without getting hit, it means it's fixed. That's the problem.
Yeah. It means they fixed their side. It means they fixed their side, definitely.
All right. No, I don't think it definitely means, because I'm looking at the first one that's showing is Bruce Seldon, I think his name was. Some people were afraid of Mike. He would touch them, they'd go down.
Yeah.
And
that's a thrown fight. If you throw it out of fear, like, I mean, and plus we're speculating about why that they were so scared that they dropped, right?
Right.
I
thought you guys were saying that Mike had was in on it and he fake your punch and the guy go down. I thought that's what you guys were saying.
How do you know he's not? But that's
I was looking for evidence.
How do you know that he
was.
wasn't in on it?
I'm looking for evidence.
They'd have to pay attention even too for him to be able to do it, because I don't think Mike Tyson would just. Okay, I'll just.
How do I know that Sugar Ray Leonard was not? How do I know that Ali's not? How do I know that anyone's not?
When Mike Tyson started out, he came up under Customato, same guy that had what's his name, the fucking Vinny Pazienza, and literally he was controlled. He had a good, and then Rooney, I think, was the guy that came up, and then all of a sudden Don King got a hold of him, and that's when things, I would say, you never know. There was so much money, everything could have been rigged at that point.
Yeah,
a lot of sports is rigged. Football, baseball, you name it. All the sports is rigged to a degree. You know. Yeah, basketball, you name it. Like they're all. I mean, if you have gambling industry that's like 10 times bigger than the sports industry, you like wherever the bigger money is, wherever the bigger fish is, they're the ones who's going to determine how things are going to pan out. That's just the way it is.
Like all the little people that are just doing the little small betting. It's just it's a whole chain of chain of effect. What do you call it?
But they need you. They
They need
they need
you,
you
but
to
like
watch basketball and football.
you're expendable versus the big fish.
I saw something where the
It's
refs were
like
coming
voting.
out saying they were paid off, and they were talking about. As a matter
Yeah.
of fact, one I went to jail or something.
Yeah, the one basketball guy, that's an infamous case, but if you're a referee or, it's just like WWF. It's a higher, more sophisticated version of the WWF,
Yeah.
Everybody has to be in on it to a degree. That's the thing.
Kayfabe.
And I'd go after the refs for sure. In every league, I'd go after the refs and the umps because they don't make enough money. You throw them $1 million, and somebody out of the fucking 9 of them is gonna, bite for it. I definitely wouldn't pass them up.
Let me know who's setting this fight up. Who's you tell the umpire or the ref. I'm gonna drop
That
you
one
this.
ref, that one ref, he was saying that he was in a gambling debt, so he was in the pocket of the gangsters, and then they're like saying, okay, well, you don't need to make like too many, like you don't need to kick players out. You just make 1 or 2 points to go this way, call foul here and
Right.
there. That's enough to
Yep.
change a game.
Especially if it's at the end at some crucial moment. You've got control of the game if it's down to that.
Yeah, how many times have we seen that in a football game?
Yeah, man.
At the
Yeah,
end,
that went on in this Super Bowl.
A lot.
I was watching one team just had all the calls against them. How do I know? As Notch put it, that wasn't how the fix was in. The
You
team
can
that
always
won.
find something. You can call a holding, that's not a holding. You can not call a
False
holding,
start.
that's a holding. Either way.
Yes, even better. Yes,
False
even
start and
better. Right.
offsides.
Clock, yep, and you got the clock ticking too. So there's a thing where they have it to where the
There's
clock's
so
still
many
running.
factors.
There's so many different people that could actually be in on throwing it, and one actually be the one that threw it.
That's what it is.
And we know that money is a great motivator. As Notch said, all that money that's involved in the betting shit, and we know how shitty people are. They gotta try it. If you didn't expect them to try their hardest, you're not thinking straight.
Did you see just look what happened with Madden, the fantasy league and shit like that. The sports and the playing of Madden, then they started getting into fantasy football, and it took away from the NFL. The next thing you knew, you had the NFL. They started mimicking the fantasy football and some of the the higher scoring games that the Madden was doing. Literally, that's the model. The business model is they want more scores on the board.
I think
So you have smaller backs and you got bigger receivers. Look at them. You got fucking 6'5", 6'6" receivers, and then 5'8", 5'9". Now, not quite that bad, but like 6'1", 5'11" defensive backs.
There's too many tangible things in this world that you can blame things on and put, that happened because of this or that, and then the money, too many people are caught up in that and not,
I think your football argument isn't that great because
It's a
I
distraction.
Yeah,
Bread and
exactly.
circus is what it is.
now without proof positive, it's just pure speculation.
Yeah, we're aware of that shit.
There's a channel
You're
called
talking
Jake
about
the Asshole, and he every week he'd go through the 10 most rigged plays of the week, and it's pretty fantastic because when, especially in football, you got so many people doing so many things that you miss like each individual player.
Of course, a lot of suspect
but if you go back
shit.
and watch, he'll take you back through it, and he'll go, now look at this guy. Quarterback's got all the time in the world. He throws it into double coverage. Both of these receivers fall down before the ball gets there, right? And he just takes you through each player, like how you kind of start going, well, fuck. Of course this shit's rigged. I wouldn't fuck that up, and I'm not a professional.
Right.
Yeah. And like sports in itself is a kind of a conspiracy of its own. And what I mean by that is that, you have these guys who are like complete athletes. I mean, like they could be successful in just about any field. I mean, you're talking about high IQ guys who have like, a specimen of a human being, and you offer them millions of dollars, and they have to dedicate their lives in, moving a ball around and get a touchdown. I'm not saying that's not of any value, but if you got these guys, all of them, like in NFL, baseball, NBA, and they're actually like motivated to know the truth of this reality, man, you would have a coup at your hand. Like there's no way that people wouldn't be following these people like they do. They're already idols themselves, and they're amazing at what they do. But am I even audible? Can you guys hear me? I know that.
Yeah, you are. You are.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were just watching Barbie.
But you guys understand where I'm coming from.
Thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you guys understand where I'm coming from here, right?
Yes, and agree with it.
Well, I only heard bits and pieces because I was looking up Jake the Dude, bad asshole. But I did catch up with.
I've been researching this shit for like a couple years, so I don't want to just like jump in though. But if you guys ever have questions about that,
Tommy, go ahead.
No, I mean, I can't force anything upon anybody, but I mean, dude, just look at the facts, Yeah.
If you could bump your mic up, man.
Just look at the facts.
What facts are you talking about, sir?
NDAs, entertainment laws, scripts, to name 3. Magnets, along with collusion and owners of people, of stadiums. I mean, where do you want to start?
Yeah, the magnets in the basketball thing is kind of interesting. Like I was trying to, could it be a possibility where like the basketball itself can be magnetized so that the percentage of
is money and power a possibility?
No chance. Is physics? Is that physically possible? How do you guys see that happening?
Is influence red versus blue a
I
possibility?
think it's a possibility myself, right?
How does it work?
Like
physically,
magnets. Like so,
I mean,
if the magnets can be turned on or off, and then you can magnetize it, your probability. Let's say your normal shooting average. I mean, like these guys are already pretty good
let's
at
start at
getting the
50%
ball
more
near
probability.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
saying,
So I mean, that's a
put
huge.
some iron or metal in the ball, have the rim magnetized,
No,
and you can have it.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be iron nor metal. I mean, like graphene oxide is metallic, or I
Okay.
mean magnetic. You
Isn't
can
it
have
metal?
other magnetic, but what? I don't think it's metal. It's graphene, right?
So is it to like you shoot at the basket? It's to like to repel it from hitting the rim?
You can go
Both.
either way. You can repel it or have it attract. Either way, right?
No, it sounds like nonsense. We could tell when
It's
the
not.
magnet
It's
hits,
not.
it would
It's
move.
not. There's screenshots of Spalding or whoever is running the NBA right now, and also there's goalposts which have. I mean, Joe, come on, bro. You're not going to tell me being from Chicago the amount of your dude hit the pole 4 times, bro. There are magnets in those balls. No
Okay, but
homo.
you didn't give me
No
anything
homo.
good in that statement right there, right? That was funny, magnet of the balls.
No, I gave you the
But
ability to
I'm just
see.
talking about physics. When you turn a magnet on, that ball, in some of these cases, it couldn't be perfect every time. I'd see that ball behave differently.
There's a documentary on it. There's a couple. But yeah, the Jake the Asshole dude, that guy's actually like a shill kind of plant. He actually like, no, he is. He
Okay.
shows like stupid scenarios so that like you'd watch his video and you'd be like, okay, this guy's stupid. Like it doesn't make sense what this guy's saying.
Who?
But like,
Jake the Asshole.
Oh, I was thinking he was talking about Elon Musk. Go ahead.
yeah, same person basically. except one shoots rockets and one just makes fake YouTube videos.
Elon Musk is like, and I encourage people to go listen to Elon Musk sometimes, but forget that you've already been brainwashed that he's a brilliant genius, right? Just imagine you've never heard of this dude and listen to him.
There he is.
I've never thought he was a genius ever in my life. I thought he was like semi not all.
When I found out about his hair plugs, I was like, oh hell no.
Dude,
you ever
like,
seen
I don't know
him try
why,
to
but I was
dance?
like, that's so lame.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Wait, what?
I don't want to see him
Elon
try
trying
to do
to
anything.
dance.
Well, shows can't dance.
I'm leaving this. Cynthia 20833. Another quote for the Rocky Shepherd calendar. If anybody's not aware, me and Cynthia are working on a 365-day tear calendar. You can put on your desk, and every day you tear off a new Rocky Shepherd quote. I think that this one would be a good addition. All professional sports are entertainment and played by superstar training actors.
Oh my God.
All right, so Joe, there's so there was this thing invented in like 2007, and it's patented, and the NFL made it illegal, but it's legal in high school. It's also it's not illegal in the NFL, but it's illegal every level down. They are magnet gloves, dog, that catch these footballs. I know that sounds stupid. I thought so too.
No, that's a bit more believable.
When you actually watch this like little documentary, it's like 30 minutes. You see that they show you the manufacturers of the hoops, of the goalposts, of the footballs, and of the basketballs, and they literally show on their website that there's a technology inside of them that would it just makes.
See, this is where you cut off. This is where you stop talking. You cut off. You say it tells you, and down you go into it makes you think. You're not telling me what it tells me.
Because it tells you to think.
The thing. What's the thing?
It's not what our traditional education.
Joe, you're not convinced by it. We get it. You know, I mean, but I think you're convinced enough that the sports is rigged. Whether or not the magnets are in the ball or not.
Magnet gloves. I think there's a feasibility. There's an argument in the gloves that wouldn't account for a whole lot of movement, but it would help once they get super close. I wouldn't.
It would help with
deny
those
that argument.
fingertip catches, where they jump out over and they just catch it with like the middle two, the G-spot fingers, and then
that's more believable.
Yeah.
Who wants to talk about what sport?
Is M talking to them spirits again?
No, I was listening to y'all.
It was only 2 minutes left in the game.
I already made God mad at me earlier, so like I'm
not mad at you.
I mean, Golden State won, Barbie. Is that what that means?
Huh?
Does that mean Golden State won the game?
Yes.
Who on the panel right now is the biggest skeptic against sports being rigged?
That's actually the first time I've heard that outside of wrestling.
Chuck is the most normie always.
But it sounds like okay, Chuck. All right, Chuck and M.
That's because I'm the oldest and wisest one here.
Well,
we'll give you the oldest.
Probably, Chuck.
All right, Chuck. What sport would you like to investigate?
Cool. Joe motherfucking Cool convinced me he was like 78 or some shit.
Dude, he's been the same age for like 600 years.
I was like, he told me with such a straight face. I was like, that's amazing. Black don't crack.
Oh my God.
How old is
in
reality?
I can't tell you.
What's your
Joe
age?
is connected.
I'm 56, but I tell motherfuckers I started 79 and they believe that I go up and up. And I had one of my guys fighting for me on in Denver Metro.
Yeah, you told me that you were like 71 or something like that.
No, he said 79. He said 79 was his favorite. He said 79 was his favorite Keno number.
There's no way Joe's 56.
And then we're talking about like maturity level. I'm like 12 on a good day.
So nobody wants to break down a sport, and I can break it down in like threes. You want me to break down a sport? Tell me yes or no.
I don't like sports, but if it's someone else,
you fake that? That's the one I think would be hardest to fake.
Which one?
Why?
Or rig baseball. It's a fucking ball.
No,
with a
so
stick
there
that you're
are
hitting. Like
articles
it's
written.
the most complicated.
Golf would be hardest to rig, probably.
I don't think so. I actually have a product for that.
Actually,
I was thinking about talking to you about it, but okay. So baseball, there are tons of articles. I mean, come on. And
yeah, I can come up with a bunch of.
So what you know,
I'm hearing a lot of lip.
No, listen. What you know about baseball, plus maybe you haven't read that there's been different baseballs found. You can cork baseball bats.
I've heard it. Yeah, I have heard about
You can
that.
get
I'll
cameras
tell
to
you
watch
from
the
personal
catcher behind the
experience.
plate, giving signs to the pitcher.
Exactly.
You can put grease on your fingers, or you can put sandpaper somewhere. There are ways to manipulate baseball that
Dude,
we're all
listen,
aware
man. What you guys know about RPMs on baseball sliders? You know about 2400,000. You know about 2400 RPMs. You know about that versus 1800. Come on, man.
of. No, I don't know the revolutions on the pitches. No.
Yeah, like if you put that stuff
makes
on
a
your
difference.
fingers, you can get like 20% different leverage on the ball. And one of the pitchers, like one of the most famous pitchers ever, got thrown out of the league for that because everyone else was doing it. He was like, "Well, if you're gonna do it, like I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna make a big deal about it." And he got picked out as like, "Oh, this is the guy who."
Oh, Raleigh Fingers was it? Is that what you talking about? I think.
Dude, I forget who it was. It was, I don't know. It was some like
Somebody
it was
famously.
you know what? It was a guy who also put 9/11 was an inside job. He put that on the mound with his cleats. He like cut it into the dirt. Yeah.
That's
Totally.
a good way to
out
get
of our
attention. That's
vocabulary
true.
right now, though.
If I had his talent, I'd probably do the same thing.
Right, if I get away
That's
with
it.
it.
September
That's kind of
event.
like that messed
The
up
September
shit.
event.
Aaron Rodgers is in trouble for it right now. Or
But yeah,
whatever.
dude, it's all rigged, bro. Like, come
Use
on.
code.
Back on the pedal.
Use code.
You know.
It's
You know,
hard to
okay,
rig it
baseball
all.
in
It's
particular is one of the most Masonic games on the planet. The bases are 90
It is.
feet apart,
Yeah.
and I don't know all the little, you know, nuance, like whatever the hell people say, but like, yo, that shit is not exactly
3 strikes you're
cool as
out.
fuck.
Yeah, it is.
Tarek,
a mainstream game.
if you low key sly advertise for somebody else's channel, for Paul's channel in my chat, I will block you for good. Don't play that dumb shit with me.
Yo,
Is he doing it again?
He goes, Flo, Paul is singing karaoke and he's singing and bashing you, LOL. I would be surprised if he wasn't talking about me, but I see that comment. I see the viewers drop by 5. Tarek, if you play dumb, I'm blocking your fucking ass.
Bro, if somebody in my family said that, I would be like, you're very on the edge. We're gonna have to fight pretty soon. Like,
He showed it last night on Cynthia's flow.
It's so dumb.
How much he
best
adored.
way-
Is that really Tarek? Because
It's
I
not
swear that
given
all of that sounds so un-Tarek.
Bro, but like he doesn't bring it upon himself gracefully, we'll say that.
Tarek is 2 different people. He's one thing in chat and another thing on panel.
All right, Tarek, you're blocked.
And Chuck's basically an OG.
I said if you play dumb with me, you're gonna get blocked.
And Joe is Noah from Noah's Ark.
Like I said,
Anyway,
I
I'm
would
not
be
Noah,
surprised.
but that motherfucker owed me $10.
I would be
still.
surprised and disappointed if he was not talking about me. I've made him look stupid as shit in the last 24 hours.
I just told you I want a deep experience, co-creation community with authentic and real exciting conversation before, during, and after. I don't stop talking during sex either. I know a lot of you half-dead white people out there. You go to have sex and you just don't talk. Just lay there. Right? I don't move like that. So
Does with him.
That still gives me icky vibes.
I'm from New York. This is how we talk all day, every day. This is how we fuck too and make love. This energy and this talking.
No. Get the fuck out of here with that. That's bullshit. Everything about that's whack. That's fucking crazy. I've never heard anything like that.
He seems to say we quite often, and I just wonder,
we.
does he have a frog in his pocket?
I bet other New Yorkers would not co-sign to that. There ain't no way.
I bet anybody who's not a virgin wouldn't co-sign to that. That's
I
straight
can't
up
wait to get
virgin
my
talk
dick sucked. That's
right
Paul.
there. I want to have exciting, inspiring conversation. before, during, and after sex. About what, dude?
I want to guide
Here.
you in how to pick up women that are 20 years older than you.
Thank you. I am a New Yorker. ATL Transparency News. Thank you. I'm a New Yorker. You need to focus. That's right. You're not talking about like freedoms and fucking principles or shit. You're not talking about flow state and how mad you are at him.
It's like, bitch, this is not therapy. This is fucking. They're two totally different things. Like, sir, get the fuck out of here.
And why would you be talking about that to a young dude stroking his face sitting next to you?
I just told you I want a deep experience, co-creation community with authentic and real exciting conversation before, during, and after. I don't stop talking during sex either. I know a lot of you half-dead white people out there. You go to have sex and you just don't talk. Just lay there, right? I don't move like that. So
the whole thing, that comment on screen, the guy he's talking to, the whole thing puts together quite the weird image.
Yeah.
If you talked to me for a bit, you'd realize more. If you talked with me longer, you might tell your woman to fuck me because you're going to pity me for the fact that I didn't get laid till I was 26. Because I've had that experience where a man was mad at me till he talked to me. Then he goes, you know what? Maybe you should fuck my wife. Because it's kind of sad.
I think he might have just felt sorry for you.
Oh boy.
All right, I got a poll. We got a poll coming up.
That has got to be the saddest thing I've ever heard somebody say on the internet publicly in front of other fucking people. Like, whoa. I'm hoping to God he's just made that up. I hope he just fucking made that up.
70-year-old neighbor.
Shut the front door.
ATL.
Oh my God. No, I cannot.
ATL.
Just please.
ATL, you're not backstage here. Hold up. ATL Transparency News. I'm looking backstage. I do not see you.
I wonder if he's not mine. I took that down. I was like, do I still have a stream up? No.
Here, let me drop the link again just in case he I don't know.
Click the wrong one.
Unless he got hold of an old link.
And then
well, he said he was backstage, so I assumed that he could see us, but I cannot.
I want to know what is it that he wants to talk about? Like, what do you have in mind that you want to discuss that is so fucking important that it's got to be before, during, and after? It's like, what?
All right.
What is it?
Harvey. Are you telling me you would not talk about the Delphi murders during sex?
He wants to talk about saving the trees, the flora and the fauna.
No, he wants to talk about other dudes, I'm telling you. But, oh, man, that's such a hard one. I'm looking at the poll.
Yeah, I
What's
forgot
the
to
poll?
press
I
the
can't
button on the bottom.
No, doesn't he live with a chick? They've probably had sex like
they
once.
sleep in different bedrooms.
What? Yeah. No, I totally get that, but I still.
You know what? I can't believe I don't have your little audio clip. I can't believe I don't have that as a clip.
What?
I ain't showing you no side boob, nothing. That one.
What is it?
Remember when you were talking?
Oh no! Show me. You haven't made a new clip yet. What was the other thing? I didn't hear it. I just saw it right before I came in. There was another clip. Bless it. It's probably serious. Some of y'all get me fucked up. I'm serious. Y'all say or just tell me a story that has me for late days after the stream, just sitting around like, damn, that is so fucked up. I just don't even know how to like respond or process it. Like days later, I'll just be sitting around randomly thinking about something one of y'all said and go, damn. Or I'll feel sad and then I'll laugh because I'm inappropriate like that. But yeah, some of y'all, yeah. Penis vagina.
I got you, Hank. I'll do you. Yeah, Mitch is saying, Paul says he doesn't do the penis vagina thing. Does he do the penis butthole thing?
No.
Tarek, what is your dumbass doing here?
Slapping dicks.
Well, I'm shocked why you blocked me. Why would you think I have any bad intentions? I was just telling you that. What's my intention here to tell you
To
that
advertise for Paul. You're advertising for Paul.
Why would I?
I don't know. I don't
So,
know, Tarek.
okay.
I don't know why you do the things that you do, but you do still have a weird way of continually talking about Paul, complimenting Paul while not complimenting Paul, complimenting Snafu Snaps. Like you speak out of both sides of your mouth, Tarek.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you why. Can I explain why?
Please do.
All right, here we go. That's why I want to have this conversation with you. So with Paul, for example, the things that he's really bad at, I'm gonna point them out. The only thing that I really agree with him on is the law. So me and you don't see eye to eye to that one. So you probably see it as me, whatever for Paul. That's not true. Paul is a scumbag, piece of shit, grifter, you name it. I can go on and on. Disrespectful, you name it. Now, with Snafu and the Thorpe, I know that's getting to you. That's why I want to get up here and talk to you about it. Snafu has his own claims. I have my own beliefs. I don't make any claims. And we'll just leave it at that. You got your perspective. He's got his perspective. I'm not going either way.
And see, that's where you lose me. His claims are demonstrably and have been demonstrated false. When you say he has his claims, he has his truth, you're giving credence to a proven fucking liar.
We talking
Like, his dumbass can't even get the simplest facts correct
We're
when it comes to
talking
Snafu.
Snafu. There's nobody more discredited in the metaverse than Snafu.
No, okay, that's your perspective. My perspective
No.
is different.
No, it's
I
facts.
disagree.
No.
Okay, I respect that, Barbie. I respect that. But I'm saying I have a different perspective, believe me. And the reason why I have a different perspective, because I have inside information that you don't have.
Where in the
You're
fuck do
delusional.
you find these people?
You don't, Eric. I don't believe that. I've heard you say and
delusional.
allude to your secret inside information for as long as I've known you. You've never presented any of it. All you've shown is wishy-washy inconsistency.
Okay. Okay, we'll leave it at no problem. You have a point there. I get it.
So-
but we'll wait. We'll wait and,
And
be patient.
here's the other thing about Snafu. If you think Snafu is right, like I've looked into Monograph, I've looked into Monograph, I've looked into me, I've looked into Tommy. I know 100% that he has no evidence of the P word that he keeps claiming all of us do.
Okay, again, I'm not
It's
saying
not-
he
it's not
does
there.
at the moment. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
If you call
And
everybody
right
a P word, sooner or later you're gonna hit somebody just odds.
Or
You're right.
and
but here's the
also
thing.
looks bad on him, like he might be the pedo, and he's
Okay.
just trying to deflect
I
that.
agree with you, Barbie, right? Here's the thing I look at too. He's been threatened so much in his life, right?
Good.
And now
Somebody needs to make good
No,
on that
that's not-
motherfucker. Are you kidding me?
that's not good to be threatening people's life. I would never threaten nobody's life, no matter what.
I would never
Like,
threaten anyone's life either, because that's
Me
stupid
neither.
strategy.
Yeah, I know. So what I'm saying to you, if somebody's threatening him, there's got to be some smoke. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, you mean like
That's
there's a
all
fire
my
under his
perspective.
ass?
Tarek, that's bad
Yeah,
logic.
okay, well,
Here's the
one second.
smoke. Go ahead, Notch.
Well, the question I would have is that have you ever considered that he was being threatened because he was making false allegations? Do you think that's also a possibility?
Oh, it's a possibility right now, Chi, but to threaten somebody's life, and let me tell you something else. Randy threatened me twice already.
Who's Randy?
Just because Randy Reeves today threatened me. He said, I have a big surprise, and he threatened me 2 days ago. And he told me he's gonna find me. I told him you don't have to find me. I'll give you my number. I already
I
gave my
don't
number.
know
Everything
what
else you can go.
What does this have to do?
Yeah,
I don't even
I'm-
know who that is. I don't. What's this have
I'll
to
tell
do
you
with
what this has to do with it. I'm gonna tell you what this has to do with it, because he thinks I'm also like on the side of Snafu. So he already threatened me. That's a sign of somebody being, in a way,
tired of
threatening
your
and not-
bullshit and lies? They're tired of
No,
being
but-
lied about.
Is he
That's what that
Marfugel?
is.
Are you talking about Marfugel? Is that
No. I'm
is
talking
that Randy
about
Reeves?
Randy Reeves. Okay, so
Who is he?
if-
Who is he to
he's
us
somebody that
or to anybody?
he's He's somebody who used to be with. He's a trucker. He used to work with. He used to be with Monograph, and they got off I guess, the wrong track. But whatever the case may be, they're not in good terms. Now, to threaten somebody's
This
life,
guy
to
does
threaten
YouTube, Terry.
huh?
He does YouTube.
Yeah, he threatened me today, and he made a video about me today, and threatened me, and he threatened me 2 days ago, and he said I have a big surprise coming. For what?
So what?
Well,
That's
I
not
don't
admission
care
of guilt.
myself.
So hold on, Tarek. Your theory is that you guys run around making up lies and talking shit on people and slandering them, and that when they finally get fed up enough to threaten you, that's their admission of guilt?
No, here's my point. If you said making lies, I didn't make no lies. They're going by the snafu thing, right? I didn't never made no lies, never made no claims. But to threaten somebody's life,
You're doing what Paul does. You're implicitly validating Snafu. You're saying Snafu has some good points. You are making the same claim as him.
I am saying that for somebody to be threatened his life and put dead rats and all that bullshit, there's got to be some smoke. Something is in there. That's all I'm saying.
You guys are the smoke, Tarek. You're the fucking smoke.
Why would you say that? I have nothing
because
to do with
you're
this.
running around telling people. How do you not understand this? You're running around calling people pedos. You're slandering them. They're tired of it. That's
Okay, hold
you
on.
are the smoke.
Okay, did I ever call anybody a pedo?
Yes,
Tommy,
you're doing it.
Snafu.
You did it. Go ahead.
Tommy, I did it to Tommy when he did the whatever you
You
call
did
it.
it. You did it to Monograph. You've done it to Monograph a lot of times personally. And every time you say Snafu is right, you're doing it again.
Hold on, I never did it to Monograph. When I got into it with Monograph, I said he didn't dox Paul. That's all I said. I never said he did anything like that. I never did that. Now, here's the other thing with the Thorpe that's getting to you, because I already know this is boiling up, and I want to get it out of the way because men talk to men respectfully. With the Thorpe, to me, as a father, I have 2 daughters, and you have a daughter. I thought when he came on Jack's show, Flow State, you were silent. You didn't say a thing. That was, to me, just my perspective, was not good. You should have said something.
Tarek.
Yeah, here's the
You're
video.
A creeper. You're a YouTube fucking creeper. You've done this to at least a dozen women on YouTube, and they've all complained about you. This is what you do. Hey, Mad Mystic, why is your boyfriend so mad that he's leaving me comments on my channel? All because I think you are beautiful women. Tell Randy he should be happy that someone thinks his women is beautiful. Regardless, Mad Mystic, you are beautiful, and I don't care if Randy has a fit or not. Heart, heart, heart. See, that's the creeper shit that you do. You've been doing it for fucking years.
That
Stay
is
in your
not
own
as
lane,
creepy
motherfucker.
as what I've had to go
Or
through.
you and I are going to have problems in real fucking life.
That's fucked
Where's
up.
there a threat? That's not a threat.
That's not a death
That's
threat.
not a threat. He texted me. He said, "I'm gonna find you." Come on, Chuck, stop with the bullshit, man. You fucking cupcake so much is unbelievable. Now,
Oh
here's the
my
thing.
god.
Hold on one second. Here's the thing with Randy. Before that video was made, he also texted me twice and messaged me on my channel threatening me. Before that, so there's more to it. And with the Thorpe, that's all I thought, Flo, that you should have said something. That's it.
Tarek,
That's
if you
my
don't make
perspective.
good, Tarek, if you don't make good on this shit by Monday, I'm gonna hurt you. But the reason why I came
Here
up
we
here,
go. Here we go with Mitchell. What the fuck, Mitchell?
but the reason why I came up here is because I've actually intentionally, very clearly, on the internet, multiple times in multiple places, threatened Snafu's life to prove a point. Like very
But
clearly.
that's not good though, man.
Right. Okay. Well, it's not good, but I did it to prove a point, and it did work good. It did prove the point, and Snafu actually fucking restored his fucking behavior back to something reasonable with me. So it's what had to happen with me and Snafu to get him under control because he was out of control. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Okay, that's it. That's your
Right. So
perspective. I respect it.
the threat, like, I would never fucking kill Snafu, okay? But that's what I said I would do. All right. And it wasn't a credible threat. He said he turned me into law enforcement and all this and that shit's coming my way for it. Nothing ever happened. I knew it wasn't.
Of
I know how to walk
course.
that fucking line, right? But sometimes when the guy runs around, running his fucking mouth, talking shit constantly and won't stop, then people get fed up with that shit. And
why don't you just ignore him? I would ignore him.
well,
Then
why don't you just ignore the people who don't ignore him?
Hold on 1 second. Just like flowstate right now did, right? He didn't agree with me. He blocked me, right? He can do that anytime he wants. That's what you should do. Don't pay attention to him if he's
All right.
bothering you.
Hold on. We're starting a new stream, Mitch.